cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, nah, likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains, I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things, gonna make a f***ing name. I just wanna be famous, but I don't want that cheap fame. No, I'm not that vain, I just wanna be greatness.
Yeah, get fired up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I love that song. It's I don't know, it fits good. I don't know, I like it. But how's everybody doing today? Dave and I had this great idea to get together and just kind of shit on Ken Hamm for a little bit.
I don't know if it was a great idea, but
well, it's always a great idea to talk about the many scandals of Ken Hamm, tell people a little bit about who he is and all that stuff. And you know, thank you. I like the song too. I think that song's cool. It's I've got the whole thing on here. Maybe I'll play it sometime because the rest of it's just as good. But free music too. Awesome that that's free. Anyway, so what to say about Ken Hamm, huh? Ken Hamm is an asshole. But it goes deeper. Where do you want? I'll tell you where we should start. I've got this right here queued up. There's Dave's channel. You guys need to go subscribe to that number. I will. I'm using my hand to do this. So, Ken Hamm works for Answers in Genesis. This is Ken Hamm. This beautiful looking man right here. I imagine that photo has, in fact, it looks photoshopped to me. It looks like they photoshopped his head on a different body. You can see the cuts around it even. But anyhow, Ken Hamm, founder and CEO of Answers in Genesis, and its two popular attractions, the acclaimed Creation Museum and the internationally known Ark Encounter, which feature a life-size 500 to 10-foot Noah's Ark, sometimes described as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Each year.
It's a wonder, all right.
I'll just stop there. I can't read anymore. Wait, nope.
You can't forget that Ken Hamm doesn't like much for secular countries. So he comes from Australia, which is very secular, and he wanted to get out of that secular country because he just wasn't making the duckies there. So he immigrated to our secular country. So he could complain about our secular country.
Where the fuck did he go, Dave?
He came here.
Australia. Where did he go?
He came here. Lickety split.
To Northern Kentucky, where I'm at.
Well, first he was out California.
Yeah, that didn't work out too good for him, huh?
Yeah, he originally was kind of teamed up with the whole ICR thing out there, and I think Ken likes to have it his own way, and so they parted ways. And then, yeah, he kind of bumped into some walls for a little while, then found his way over to Kentucky.
Yeah. So, you sent me a video from AIG, which is Ken Hamm's the CEO of this place, or was, and or isn't kind of at the moment. He's you sent me a video that AIG released today, and I actually posted that for my members to all watch that video from AIG, and then next Monday we'll do a live talking about that. I told Dave I did it, and then immediately I get on here and it says Dave became a YouTube member. So thanks, Dave. But I thought that was I think it's a cool idea to give a video and then let everybody, like all the members can be part of the panel talking about it. I don't, like, and we'll do that on Mondays. That way we can be talking about what's going on in current Christian apologetics and stuff, and look at a video and do all those things at once, give something special to the members and all that. So thank you to my members, by the way. But yeah, Ken brought his ass to Northern Kentucky. This article, I mean, it's on Answers in Genesis, so it was written very much in favor of him. But here's one thing that sticks out to me. A much in-demand Christian speaker and interview guest, Hamm became well known throughout America for his 2014 evolution creation debate with Bill Nye TV's The Science Guy. And that's why we all hate that debate, is because it brought us Ken Hamm. It made Ken Hamm's crazy shit mainstream. He was just a crazy man with a boat. And
we love Bill Nye, but the thing to go on TV with it, I question, because
I'm surprised Bill Nye did it, honestly. Because Bill Nye's a pretty
these things need to be addressed, but I say there's a place for it, and it's not on primetime TV. So
yeah, no, it's after letting Ken Hamm walk through for an hour and say that everything in it's true and all that, you got fucking saddles on dinosaurs and shit. They didn't have iron 2,000 years before the Iron Age started? Well, yeah, they did. They had to have. So there's the ironworks shop, and there's iron everywhere. Yeah, and that boat still wouldn't float if it was actually a boat. But
well, there's the Ohio River is right there, and if there was money to be made taking a cruise in the Ark, he would have done it. But somebody somewhere told him that thing will never float, and
I would love to see him put that son of a bitch in the Ohio River. I would go down to the bridge downtown here and stand and watch it go by, floating rubble.
So yeah, well, for folks that don't know, Ken Hamm is a young Earth creationist. That means he thinks the entire universe is about 6,000 years old because of some lineages in the Bible that do not date the Earth. They give bloodlines so that the Messiah can be king and whatnot. It's got nothing to do with dating the Earth. But there was certain people along the way, including Henry Morris with the Flood book and everything, back, I think it was in the 50s, 60s, around there. And he's a big influence that, this stuff all literally happened. And Ken is pretty much that generation. This stuff is fairly new. Ken likes to claim that, Christians have always believed this, and it's not true. Even with a lot of the struggles with the church and everything and stuff, it still moved along with a lot of science. Even if it didn't like some of the science, there was still a lot of science being done. And people knew a long time ago, the Earth was round and how many days it took to go around the sun, and that just by looking at all the deposition in just layers they could see, earliest naturalist / geologist knew the Earth had to be at least millions of years old. And this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So he pushes, literally, we mock him for it, and they don't seem to understand that they take the Flintstones literally. He writes children's books with dinosaurs that have saddles on them, pulling plows. It's just like the Flintstones. It's that ridiculous. And even most the theologians, some of your big names like William Lane Craig, openly outright reject his stuff as nonsense. And the late Pat Robertson, who was a favorite to us all,
it's hard to say with a straight face.
Yeah, even he said, Ken, you make us look silly. You make our religion look silly.
Yeah.
And I made this artwork behind me, just so everybody knows, just for Ken, with dinosaurs and rainbows, because he really likes dinosaurs and he uses them. He says he twists everything around, obviously, if you know anything about him. But he says museums use dinosaurs to pull children in because children love dinosaurs. And then they teach them evolution. So what does Ken Hamm have all over the place, including a big one sitting right outside the front doors of his creation museum, which, by the way, is not listed as a legitimate museum in the museum listings, is a big old plastic dinosaur. So,
of course.
And because he takes everything literally, he also believes man not only lived with dinosaurs, but that they were on Noah's Ark. And afterwards that, yeah, they used them to, like beasts of burden. And then for some reason they didn't like them anymore and they killed them all.
Yeah.
And that's why there's no dinosaurs today.
Yeah. Something I thought about is animals behave a certain way, right? So like when there's flooding, animals know to go to higher ground. They just do it. Wouldn't you think, like, when we find fossils, all we would have to do is look on top of hills? Like, if that was true, because everything would have gathered on top of a hill and died, just a thought. Just
they
something.
they have things they call hydrological sorting to explain the fossils. And usually it goes by mass. But they're cherry picking, because if you take mass of other animals that aren't in the same layers, it doesn't line up either. It's
there's nothing about the geologic column that makes you think that it's organized by density. If you look at it and think it's organized by density, you're looking at the wrong thing.
That's the thing. He tends to push it on recent things, and especially since Darwin. And no, the first people that looked at these layers, they knew right away that, wow, this had to take a long time. Because the layers are just not layers of rock. There's different layers of different environments. And when you just add up how long it would take for generations of let's say an inland sea was there, and then it dried up, and then you had a desert there, and then it blew away, and then you had a forest there with generations and generations and generations. They realized early on that the Earth had to be a lot older than anybody thought it was, or maybe even speculated about. I don't even know what they thought about in the old days. But
yeah, I don't know what the original. I don't know if even calling it the original is the right word. I don't know what the original idea was for the age of the Earth. I know that the Doppler effect changed everything pretty much, but
well, I think, isn't it Kelvin that did the calculations that because of the heat and everything and stuff, it had to be at least hundreds of thousands or something like that? I mean, there was different. There was different. There were different fields of science. It wasn't just the guys digging around in the rocks.
No, that's true. Yeah,
they were learning about
ways to.
Yeah, astronomy and radiation and radioactive decay and all these things they were all these are all different fields. It's not just he likes to sum everything up as evolution, which falls into biology. And what they're really doing is they're denying every field of science. Just like most crazy, they say they like science. He who shall not come out of my mouth with the Hawaiian shirts. Is Mama still out there? He often says it too. Oh, I love science. I taught science. And it's like, no, you don't. You reject every field of science. When you start going down them, is biology, it's geology, it's astronomy, it's physics. There's not a field of science that they're not denying.
Right. Yeah. They. Yeah. That's one of the things that I always say is like, how do you square your belief with the fact that you've had to, like what it would require for that to be true is for like 10 branches of science to be non-existent. Like, how do you square those two things? And I never really get an answer.
The CMI, I think it was, video I saw the other day, he said in his head that the difference between their 6,000 and 14 billion-ish for the universe is 2 million times off or something like that, he said. And it's like, doesn't that make you question? I mean, they're not even in the middle. You know what I mean? They're not even saying, no, we only think it's 7 billion, or something to argue over. They're just so far off. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's and it's funny because
you need to bump us up, Joe, because we disappear when you put
we disappear
there.
Well, here, let's look at something else first. Well, I wanted to read that. That's why I put it up there. One of the first pieces of evidence the Earth was much older than we thought came from going out and physically counting the visible geological layers. Yeah, I mean, there's any number of ways that that you can disprove all that stuff. But
and you do not need the entire. You do not need the entire geological column either. That they like to say, oh, you can't see the whole thing in one place. You don't need to. You have one outcropping with enough layers, and right there, if you add those to the ones in other places, it's not just this modern conspiracy or something that creationists like to claim.
Yeah, if you actually, try, if you actually make the smallest of attempts at understanding the natural world, one of the first things you're going to arrive at is deep time, and apologists don't like that. They have to deny that deep time exists, and it's one of the pillars of evolution. So yeah, nothing new there, right? The same old garbage.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's always this, it's a conspiracy against God, and it's like,
yeah.
A lot of people made these discoveries, believed in God. It had nothing to do with it. It's completely a bogus argument. He's saying that everybody that ever did any kind of science didn't believe in God and just wanted to disprove God, and that's not true. There's, the Vatican has had a telescope. What do you call it? The observatory. Yeah, they've had an observatory for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, and we were talking a little bit earlier, Joe and I, that there's been, things that the different religions didn't like about science and fought against and stuff. But a lot of the religions still embraced a lot of stuff that science learned along the way. So it's just it's just not a good argument to say that it's just anti-God people doing science. It's just not true. It's not true.
Yeah, well, I think AIG, and specifically Ken Hamm, is one of those that says that atheists don't actually exist.
Yeah.
That we're just denying God because we hate him.
You want to sin, so you want to be an atheist. And I always say that doesn't make any sense. If I wanted to sin, I'd become a Christian so I could be forgiven.
Yeah. Yeah, stupidest argument ever. I know there's a God, but I want to say there's not one because I don't like him. Knowing that if that God exists, I get to burn in hell for an eternity. So I choose to hate that God. That's stupid. It's a stupid thing to say. Although, I mean, if the God of the Bible were true, I would definitely still have a problem with some of his actions. So
Well, yeah, that's the argument. I just heard Turek using it that
yeah,
well, if Christianity was true, would you believe it or something like that? And it's like, well, that's just a loaded question. If
yeah, yeah,
something was maybe true, and of course, people are going to go, well, yeah, I guess so. Well, see, and it's like, no, 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 no.
Well, that's kind of the new age apologist trick is hypotheticals to create a hypothetical where you have to agree with them, and that's like one of the new things they do all the time now that bugs the shit out of me.
Well, and like Ken Ham is a specialist at, he says, no, I'm not, you are. That's his game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't reject science. You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a religion. You do.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's everything is he just throws it right back. I'm rubber, you're glue. And my favorite one is go ahead.
What's that silly lady's name? That lady I'm using very loosely. What's that lady's name from AIG, the biologist that has the PhD? What's her name?
Georgia Purdom.
Purdy, right?
Purdom.
Purdom.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck her.
And
too.
if you don't know, the anti-science folks there, Georgia has a cochlear implant, so she can hear.
Oh.
Bodie Hodge, the son-in-law, has a pacemaker. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's, science is great, isn't it?
Yeah. Why didn't God fix that for him,
And of course, Ken Ham wears glasses. They look pretty thick too by the reflection going on there.
Yeah, those are big old glasses.
So yeah, of course he'll say it's just because of sin, and before sin, dinosaurs ate watermelons. So one of their arguments is sharp teeth doesn't prove a carnivore, but what they always leave out is what are the rear teeth, right?
Yeah.
Sharks and the T-Rex and that they don't have rear teeth that are for grinding and chewing. No, they're not there. Right. He'll show a squirrel or a panda bear or something with big old, fangs hanging out the front of its skull. But yeah, what's in the back? Are those molars back there, Ken? Or some type of, I know they have different names, but generically we're speaking, there's some kind of grinders back there, right? Yeah. And I don't know how many times that Bodie, the one I just mentioned, his son-in-law, which is one of his chief speakers, he does it. I don't know how many times with the skull bit.
Dude, it takes incredibly too long to put tabs in a Bible. Like, I've been steadily at it. I've used up like 20 of them, and I'm not even a third of the way through that damn thing.
Look out. He's going to have the quick reference down here.
Yeah, no.
Hang on a second. I got a tab for that.
Yeah. Robin sent me this Bible. It's a NIV Bible and tabs for it. So I could be organized, and that was really helpful of Robin. I think she was sending a message. She was saying, "Get a fucking Bible, you idiot! Get a Bible so you can look up what it says and quit saying that stupid shit."
We're gonna do some Bible readings next.
We might. I tried that; it didn't work. I tried that. We made it 10 verses into the book of John, and he got pissed and ran off. But I don't have to deal with that loser anymore. So thankfully, and it's like the thing that I'm not going to get into that. Let's just talk about Ken Ham. Anyway, if you do a YouTube search for Ken Ham, you're going to find why it's impossible for God to have used evolution. You want to watch this little 4-minute video? You want to, Dave, or not? Are you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah, if you want, just
can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah, stop.
Dave.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You can't hear me?
Something happened?
Hold on.
I'm still here.
Now can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think maybe it's because I hovered over that video. Fucked it up.
See?
But
I'm looking at my buttons here going, wait a minute, I didn't touch nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently I screwed everything up with this window share. But impossible for God to have used evolution. Can we prove Christianity is true?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can do it. Just don't let it play for too long. Let's break it up so.
Okay.
So he doesn't send you a wah wah.
Got it. Maybe.
Uh-oh. It's got a hex on it.
And you know what his nature is.
It's like the ring.
Is.
I don't think it's playing.
All right.
I didn't hear nothing. No.
Yeah.
It was just kind of jumping around a little bit.
Anyway. Yeah. We'll just stop with that because apparently my screen share was causing problems. But yeah, Ken Ham goes on talking about we don't believe in evolution, or they don't believe in evolution, and none of it's true, and you can't prove it, and just it's all this, and that dinosaurs lived with humans, and just so much stupid shit. But the thing that really burns my ass about what Ken Ham does, it's not that he believes those things or goes on the internet and says he believes those things. It's that he packs hundreds of little kids at a time in a room and makes them repeat those things after him. It's not even teaching. It's straight up just indoctrination. And I just hate that he does that and that he's allowed to do that in Kentucky. And
he sets up the dichotomy. Yet, are you going to listen to God or the scientists? Well, why can't you listen to both?
Instead of are you going to listen to me or the scientist is what he's really saying, because it's just him saying these things. Nobody else says these things. Nobody thinks for a second. Well, I say nobody, but I live in a place where everybody believes this shit. That's why he came here.
So why don't you tell it? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the great business opportunities that Ken brought to Kentucky.
So whenever Ken moved his arc in, that's a little town. It's not a big place. They had to redo the highway and everything, the exits and all that, and build a whole lot of infrastructure and things just for Ken to be able to put that there. And they did all these things pretty much for free for him. But then they also gave Ken tax rebates. And he had said that the museum would bring like 2 million visitors the first couple years and then grow from there, and it's never came close to reaching its numbers. But what this tax rebate does is Ken Ham gets these schools to pay to bring kids there, and local schools do this, not just Christian schools. The schools around here take people to this thing as a field trip, like it's a real thing, and I don't even know how they're allowed to do it, but they do. And I guess permission slips is how they get around it. Fuck, I don't know, but they take these kids here. Well, the thing with Ken Ham is those Kentucky taxes. He gets an 85% tax rebate. So yeah, he pays those taxes, but then he gets it all. They write it back to him in a check at the end of the year. So he has the city paying him, and the money that, this money is supposed to go to schools and stuff. So not only is he, bringing kids in there and teaching them, horse shit, he's also taken away from the very schools that he's grifting from in the first place. And while he couldn't
teach horse shit right either.
Yeah, no.
Let's not give him too much credit.
Yeah, there's nothing about what Ken Ham does that is legit. There is no part of it that holds water the least little bit. No pun intended, but I mean, he built this fucking boat here and like filled it with all this false shit. Like, if anything, you would think that people would see this and say, well, that story's full of shit. Like, that's obviously not what happened.
And
but they don't. They believe
his boat. Yeah, his boat building is modern HVAC and ventilation and everything. And they still told him, no, you're not going to put a bunch of animals in there. It's cruel. So the best he can do is he has a little petting area, and they, bring a bunny rabbit in or something so people can pet it. That's the best he can do for having any animals inside that, because even as modern as it is, they still told him he wasn't allowed to have animals in there because it's cruel to put them in there.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy is a charlatan to the bone. I mean, he's everything he does. And the thing that they've got their grimy hands into now is homeschooling. And this is a real danger, folks. This is, if anything I say here, I know I BS around and I'm pretty much just talking smack for the most part. But if anything here I say is true, it's that this is dangerous. What he's doing is dangerous. Homeschooling is one of those areas that religions have grabbed onto because it's not regulated. They can push their religious ideas through homeschooling because their numbers are dropping, so they need to indoctrinate kids quicker. And that's the whole plan with this. It's all a big racket. You pay a bunch of money to get Ken Ham's homeschooling kit, which is all based on the stupid shit that the earth is 6,000 years old and man rode around on dinosaurs on saddles, which we know is not true. This isn't one of the things like the talks of God about there's no reason to think this is true and things like that. This is not true. This is absolutely not true.
Yeah, he is, and he's outside the mainstream, but there's still polls that come out that say around 40% of Americans, I think last time it was like 37, I think somebody fact checked me or something, which is great. Make sure you do that. I think it was like 40%. That's way too many that think dinosaurs live with man.
Yeah.
Now, how serious they take all of it, if they're as serious as Ken Ham with all this stuff, I don't know. But these are polls that are coming out in the 21st century. That 40% of them, I mean, I can understand fathoming a higher power. I can understand pondering what happens after you die and all these kind of big, metaphysical things and everything, But this is just. But there's something, there's an understanding to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I kind of understand why people are religious, but when you start just talking nonsense, it's like, are you really hearing yourself? You really think that, I mean,
No wonder those other guys frown on him. I mean,
yeah,
but,
as we said, when Pat Robertson's, there's different levels, okay? When Pat Robertson is telling you to check yourself, you should check yourself, okay? You really should. And he just doesn't. And time after time, he's got a video out. He was totally bent out of shape when, oh, dang it. Now his name's slipping my tongue. The one, the famous biologist that worked on the Human Genome Project and everything.
no, I couldn't give you a name.
Come on, Chad, help me out. Who? Anyway, he's a Christian, and it'll come to me. And he did a song with another believer, and they're playing guitar, and Francis Collins, thank you. Francis Collins and another colleague were playing guitar, singing about "We believe in Genesis" and everything. And Ken Hamm had a cow. You don't believe in Genesis. You're taking a different interpretation, and it's like you do, Ken, like you do, really.
Yeah. Who's taking the different interpretation? The people who are trying to, look at the world around them and explain the Bible, or the ones that are trying to use the Bible to explain the world around them? Like, if you want to talk about who's taking the odd position there, it's the latter for sure.
Well, there's I'm pretty sure his name is Walter Kaiser. He's possibly a rabbi, but he's an expert in Hebrew and ancient things or whatever. That's what they bring him on for. And he told Ken Hamm straight to his face on one of those round table stages they had. You probably come across the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all sitting on stage talking. And yeah, he told Ken Hamm right to his face. And I swore the fire was like trying to come out of Ken Hamm's eyes when he said it, that you don't understand Hebrew.
Yeah.
You don't understand the the things he's taken to mean literal things, especially 6 literal days of creation. The Jewish gentleman, maybe, I'm not sure if he's rabbi or not, but anyway, he is telling you don't understand Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, again, you need to check yourself when this obvious, well-versed, I don't know how high he is up on his credentials, but when somebody's up higher than you in your credentials, maybe you ought to check yourself when they say you don't even understand the language. And if you notice, like Ken Hamm and the unnamed out of my mouth Hawaiian shirt guy, and I hope Mama's not missing this.
I mean, he may have.
They never took Greek or Hebrew or anything,
Has anyone asked? Because Ken may believe that it was written in English.
American. It was written in American. So and I don't think they ever, neither one of them has a serious theology degree. I don't know. Kent, I almost said his name. Well, I guess I will. What? Kent, the Hawaiian shirt guy, he has his crayon degrees, so maybe he wrote himself up one.
Yeah.
But, they don't even take their stuff seriously enough to go to theology school and learn the lesson, the languages.
Yeah.
And it's not even that serious to them. They just go off and make up their own stuff, and then they call themselves a ministry, and then they basically call out the majority of the world's Christians and other religions saying, y'all are dum-dums, you're not listening to us.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very true. What do you say we post a link here, and anybody else that wants to come and shit talk Ken Ham can too.
And yeah, while you're doing that, I'll say that Ken Ham not only is just, he's easy to make fun of. He's easy to make fun of in videos and in memes and everything else. And a lot of people that think he's just this far out, harmless old dude, making these videos with all this nonsense. But there's a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
He has friends and politicians. He runs a lot of politicians through there too. Okay.
Yeah.
But he has friends with deep pockets. Okay. First of all, he built a $100 million boat-shaped building, and Ken didn't pay for it.
No.
Okay. Ken didn't pay for it. So that's a lot of money. And yeah, you can have, fundraisers and everybody can kick in their $5 and you ain't going to get $100 million.
Yeah.
Then every little expansion thing he does is another so many million here, so many million there, another few million here. He's built. Oh, and by the way, we're talking about the benefits to the community. He said, well, people will, they'll stop in town to eat. They'll stop in town to get gas. They'll stop in town to hotels, all that, right? Well, first of all, the interstates pretty much have the gas thing down, Yeah. I mean, if you ever noticed, every time you're like, we should probably stop and eat and get some gas, there's an exit right there in front of you. They kind of got these things figured out, right? So you're not necessarily going to blow into just the random little town and look for a gas station. Yeah. And selling gas doesn't make a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he says food. Okay. Well, so then he builds a gigantic restaurant on the Ark property to make sure that nobody's going to go looking for any food either.
Yeah.
And then you think, well, those small towns, they're nice to go maybe, stop in anyway, get an ice cream cone or something. Well, no, Ken's got that covered too. He's got ice cream stands, taffy stands, fudge stands, banana on a stick stands, whatever stands pretzel stands. He's got all that covered too. So, nope, you ain't going to go looking for no munchies either. And then the final one is they're going to stay somewhere. The hotels are going to get business. So guess what Ken Ham is building?
Yeah. The Ark Encounter Hotel.
He's building a hotel. So there's nothing going to anybody but him.
Right. Yeah, no. He tried to lock it all up, including having to pay taxes, which again, blows my mind.
I don't think he got the property from the city for like one of those deals where you pay $1 or something.
Yeah.
And he's got some kind of a 30-year deal where he doesn't some kind of property tax or something he doesn't pay either.
Yeah, he gets it back.
They won't be paying taxes after he's, gone.
Right.
Probably.
No, what he did is he first they did buy the property, but it was like they got a huge rebate on buying the property. But then he took, after he built it and got it open and running, he sold it to his nonprofit organization for $10. Now they took him to court over that. And he won in one court case, but lost in another. And so it's kind of still up in the air. But I think here just recently he lost again, didn't he? Didn't they?
Yeah, I think he had to switch it back.
Yeah, he had to put it back the other way. But it wasn't from a lack of trying to rip off Kentucky, And
here's another one. If you ever want to Google something, the Crosswater Canyon Group is last I checked had assets over $100 million.
Yeah.
So that's one of the places he has a lot of stuff. So
I wonder if Ken thinks that The Speaker of the House is Noah. If Mike Johnson's actually Noah, I wonder what he thinks about that.
Now that guy, that was Ken Ham's attorney. That
I
was
know.
They're tight. So
I know.
yeah, you've got some, and yeah, he's totally yabba dabba doo too. So yeah, we got the Speaker of the House, and if that doesn't scare you enough, don't forget, Mike Pence was vice president, and he is young Earth creationist. He famously did the thing on the Senate floor with evolution is just a theory, and Aaron Ra.
I love when they say that.
Aaron Ra responded to it, and basically saying, look at this guy we've got in the Senate. Well, he ended up being vice president. And I don't think Trump really counts as one way or another. I don't think he can spell science. But
speaking of Aaron Ra.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Aaron Ra will be here. He agreed to come on May 19th. We'll have have the man on. Obadiah, they should have really just left that book out of the Bible. It's only one page.
And you leave a lot of those pages out of the Bible.
Yeah.
That's one of the arguments I have is they say, well, we don't follow this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, well, I don't see you tearing those pages out.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't follow that stuff anymore, why is it still in there? So you can still use it against certain people groups, maybe, which is the next issue.
Oh, yeah.
Ken Ham is big anti-LGBTQ, anti-gender pronouns. I got the rainbows here because he thinks he owns the rainbow, too. So don't you dare think that you can use a rainbow. They own the rainbow. So whenever I can, I put up rainbows because come take it from me, Ken. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Mage? So here's go ahead.
Ken Ham, Ken Inhove, and Ray Comfort, all these creationist guys I think are just a bunch of grifters. I don't believe that they believe half the stuff they actually spew.
I agree. But he's got some friends too we need to mention real quick. He's bringing in a guy that's basically going to take over for him because Ken's getting old and he realizes he's old. He's got like great grandkids and that better have, somebody to hand the reins to. And he skipped over everybody that's worked for him all these years. He skipped over the son-in-law. He skipped over Georgia Purdom. He skipped over Calvin that runs the Canada Answers in Genesis branch. He skipped them all. And he went back to Australia and he recruited Martin Iles. Now, Martin Iles is another one. Yeah, he was, him and his group are one of those ones that defend Christian cases or whatever. And they had a big dud when they were supporting that Israel guy, the ball player that was tweeting things that gay people and us atheists and everybody else are all going to hell. So he was warned. Now, he claims he wasn't, and this is where Martin and everybody all came in. But he was warned that they have a social media policy that represents the company and that, you can't, use derogatory things, etc., because those are our customers too, right?
Yeah.
Well, he went ahead and ignored it, tweeted some more. So he ended up getting bounced, and he never did get back in. He's in another country playing something else or something now. But they put a lot of money into defending this guy. Now, Martin Iles likes to say that we can't, we have to fight back, basically. We can't accept what society says is okay. And this includes the indigenous people in Australia that have their thing going too, where, what's it called? well, see, I don't have notes in front of me, sorry, but they have a thing there that celebrates the native people, and he doesn't like that either because that's all a bunch of demon stuff and everything too, you know. So yeah, he doesn't like anybody, but he's very slick in how he uses his words because he's an attorney. So this guy's being brought in, all right, and in a video, I have it if you want to look at it, but it's basically him and Ken Hamm were talking on a radio show, and Martin says Ken Hamm's given him a $150 million annual budget to start going after kids with their own media company because they want to bypass YouTube, Facebook, and everything else. They want to get their own media company going to go target children about gender issues, marriage equality, and they're also big on pro-life. $150 million to target children. That's an annual budget. Now, I'm sorry, he ain't getting that from Yabba Dabba Doo Land. Where is he getting $150 million budget?
Yeah.
And Martin, who said he would never leave Australia, one more thing, Joe. Martin, before he said I'm always loyal to Australia. I fight for Australians, this and that. Well, after he got bounced from this Christian law firm because they were too much for him, he started his own, and it seemed to not be doing very well. Okay,
imagine that.
The numbers seem to be written in red. So all of a sudden, $150 million budget looked real good, and so he's the new some kind of / CEO gonna be if something happens rolling in, and he is gonna push all his new stuff coming this fall. So hold on to your asses, is coming, and they're going after. They just straight up. We've answered all the creationist stuff. They're not going to target that stuff anymore. And Joe noticed in the video what we were talking about earlier that a lot of that video isn't the Yabba Dabba Doo stuff anymore. A lot of their videos now are gender, pro-life, marriage equality. That's where they're going with it.
It says they want to talk about culture war issues and stuff like that. So.
And when you have a budget like that, you know where else money's going to be going? To politicians.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to read a little piece here about Ken Hamm's money in the Ark, so to get a better understanding. And this is by HuffPost, so take that for what you will. But creationist Ken Hamm, the notorious, that was awful, I stuttered. The notorious owner of the Ark Encounter and Creation Museum has once again found a new way to swindle the good people of Kentucky out of their money. Not satisfied enough with winning a court battle worth $18 million in tax rebates after convincing a judge that his for-profit business, which is actively using religion as a form of employment discrimination, has now sold the land the theme park sits on, worth $48 million, to his own nonprofit entity, Crosswater Canyon, for $10. You read that right? $10. This allows Hamm to also claim his land is nonprofit and not subject to the new safety tax passed by city officials, which would have collected 50 cents from every entry ticket sold. Wow.
That's that Crosswater Canyon I mentioned earlier. You look that up and you'll see the assets that he's got stashed there.
Yeah.
Not to mention he pays himself $250,000 a year in salary, and I don't think that counts all the extras. That's just his salary as CEO and president, or whatever his little title is.
There's been, Forbes says that the tax scandal is not very scandalous and all this stuff, but Hamm fleeced a town that gave him his Ark Encounter.
It's not so much. I mean, he's entitled to play the games too. That goes back to how the tax codes are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hold it against people and their accountants and everything using all these loopholes and everything and stuff. You got to blame the tax codes.
Hamm says that it's Williamstown's own fault that they're not benefiting from the ark. And had they given him land closer to downtown instead of a half mile away, perhaps things would be better. This town, it's destroyed this town, by the way.
Yeah, but it's how many hundreds of acres? I mean, it's probably about a half a mile away, just the size of the property. I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of dumb.
The city issued Hamm's company $62 million in unsecured bonds, and arranged for them to be repaid via diversion of tax revenue. So yeah, what that means is that what taxes he does pay, they give it back to him every year. So,
and if you notice something about these places, if you notice anything about these Christian themed places, okay, it doesn't matter, you know, the different ones that have come and gone. There's a bunch of them you can look up. They don't pay for it. Okay. Yeah. So like I say, there's a bunch of them that are empty and vacant now. Was it Bible Land or something? I think Ken Ham was buying some of their old displays and stuff. When they go, they don't care. Okay. Because they don't pay for it. This isn't their money. They say they find these people with big pockets that fund it all, and when it goes belly up, they walk away. And then again, whatever the area is left hurting because they just walk away. Now you got this big eyesore sitting there all, you know, goofballed up, and you got to go through and, you know, redo it all to make it something else, and nobody really wants it, and they just sit there and turn into a big weed pit.
Monorails.
Monorail. So that's the thing with Hamm, yeah. And the others do it too. Eric Hovind made that movie. The same thing.
Yeah.
He puts his hand out. Everybody else pays to make the movie. So if the movie only makes $1, Eric Hovind made $1. That's it. That's the bottom line. Because yeah, they don't put up a dime of their own money into any of this stuff.
Yeah. On Twitter, I keep saying,
here's an article that Robin sent in the chat.
It's a shame Merrick decided to be a grifter like his father.
Yeah. Four sentences of deception. The little town Williamstown issued $62 million of junk bonds in 2013, and then promptly loaned the proceeds to help get the Ark Encounter project started. This nifty deal, at least for the Ark Encounter, was made even niftier by the stipulation that, and here's the point, that Hamm never acknowledges, 75% of what the Ark Encounter would have owed in property taxes over the course of the next 3 decades would instead be used to pay off the loan. So he doesn't even pay the property taxes. They put it towards the loan. And he never pays a penny for any of it. He doesn't pay for anything. Williamstown is anything but a wealthy town. Its median income as of 2019 is 23.5% less than the median annual income in Kentucky, which is already low. And its poverty level is 19.8% higher than the poverty level across the state. And to put this in perspective, Kentucky is the 4th poorest state in the Union. So why did this economically struggling town agree to make such a sizable monetary gift to the Ark Encounter? Of course you know the answer. Hamm and his company sold officials on the idea that the Ark would bring great economic benefits to Williamstown. But to put it mildly, that has not happened. The Ark Encounter has not sparked an economic revival in Williamstown. It remains a poor town. Hamm blames the town itself for economic failure, explaining that it's too far on the other side of the interstate to get Ark visitors. Hamm's chutzpah is breathtaking, given that he and his colleagues failed to mention that this geographical as liability, as it were, charming Williamstown officials out of 75% property taxes over 3 decades. Yeah,
30 years. That's why I say he might be gone. Yeah, he might be gone, and they're still not going to be paying taxes.
Yeah, hold on. If you knew it was a bad spot, why'd you put it there in the first place?
And like I say, the how they cheat around not paying taxes or whatever is another issue. But the other thing is, like I was saying, he cops everything else. He's putting up his own hotel now. So even if, maybe some people got some B&Bs going on, make a little, couple bucks in a quiet town. Don't stay at a hotel, right? Ken Ham's going to stick his hotel there too. So, and it becomes convenience, Why stay somewhere else? You can stay right there, walk right to the, attraction or whatever. So he's burning them on everything.
Yeah. Here's another article Robin posted. Robin's all over it.
Where's Azho? I figured isn't this Azho's job?
I invited him. He didn't come. He didn't want to come today.
Ed McMahon is supposed to be doing this stuff for you, Joe. Come on. Appreciate it though. Appreciated Robin.
Yeah.
Robin stepped up.
Loss of tax revenue for Grant County schools. Could a $10 sale mean no more taxes for the Noah's Ark theme park? Yeah, and this is all about the council approved in April a 50-cent tax on every admission sold at the Ark Encounter, saying money is needed to upgrade the city's emergency services. Tickets cost $40 for adults and $28 for children. So it's not like this 50 cents was, if Ken Ham believes anything he says, he would have paid this. The Ark Encounter seeks to pay its fair share when it comes to safety fee assessment recently instituted by the city of Williamstown, Etheridge said. The Ark Encounter has conveyed the sincere sentiment to Williamstown leadership and will continue to work with city officials to find a fair and equitable solution regarding contributions to the safety fund. Yeah, like as in we don't pay them. Yeah, but that addresses all the money. Robin posted both of those in the chat there for anybody that wants to go read them. It's tell you a little bit about just what a piece of shit Ken Ham is.
He fought paying that too, because what that basically was is because of all the people at the attraction, they need X amount of people for fire and rescue. Yeah. Well, the little town only had obviously a small fire and rescue, so that they needed to expand because these are, like government type regulations. Building. Yeah, this is another thing where they just have to follow, hey, we need enough, firemen and whatnot, ambulances.
I mean, also, like most little towns don't have ladder trucks, for instance, because they, they don't have buildings tall enough to need them. But when he comes in and builds this, and on top of that, they have to build hotels and stuff for everybody, it becomes necessary to have these things. And, it's Ken Ham should want to help with those things. I mean, it would improve his thing that he's done, I guess.
Yeah, it's just more money out of the taxpayers' pockets.
Yeah, because it still has to happen, because by law, if you have a building, I think it's over 4 stories high, or 4 stories or more, I think that's what it is. You have to have a ladder truck in the district.
I think it's shorter than that.
And that surcharge is how Dan Phelps keeps tabs on attendance numbers for us that he releases every month, because it's public information how much he's paying, and then you just divide it by 50 cents and you know how many tickets he sold.
Oh, right, yeah.
And if you don't know who Dan Phelps is, I've had him on my channel a couple times. Dan Phelps is primarily the reason we know a lot of these things, because he's behind the scenes in Kentucky. And if you want to know more about it, you can check out a couple of my videos. But basically, Dan is the man. He's a thorn in Ken Ham's side. He writes editorials about Ken Ham, et cetera, et cetera. And he's also a science promoter. He's a geologist and / paleontologist. So Dan, a lot of the info, and like I say, attendance numbers, if you see those posted anywhere, like I post them there, that's all from Dan Phelps. So Look up Dan Phelps. Good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Dan's stuff.
So, and then, like I say, so now we've got this whole new thing, and they've bought another building, by the way, in Tennessee, I believe it is. So they're expanding, and they're also they have plans for 5 locations in Australia, and expanding staff and everything and whatnot. And it's all behind this big media push, supposedly coming this fall. And yeah, Martin is Slimer, and I can tell you, if you check his page, it's Martin Isles. It's Martin with a Y, Martin Isles. You'll see a lot of rainbow things, and you know what he's talking about a lot.
Is July 7th the date of the protest, Robin? Is that the confirmed date?
As well, you guys mentioned earlier, the dinosaurs actually were eating watermelon thing. I find that particularly funny, considering that watermelon weren't cultivated primarily for food originally. They're cultivated primarily for storing water.
Well, everything was a vegetarian until after the flood, I think is his thing. So, yeah, the sharks were eating kelp, and the T-Rex was,
Never mind that plants are living things,
eating those apples or whatever they weren't supposed to eat in the garden, I guess. And
never mind that we know that plants are living things too.
Yeah, that's always
completely fucks up his whole reason for doing all that.
And why don't we have green hair? Why don't we have green hair? We can make our own food, right?
Yeah, he. I don't know, man. I don't. In one hand, it's like I was raised believing some of this stuff, but I didn't have access to know any better. I didn't have any way. The internet wasn't a thing. Phones. Yeah, right.
I had to go to the library. I had to wait till my mom came home and gave me a ride to the library. So
yeah,
that's dating me.
But I just feel like today it's so easy. Facts about evolution and things are more common knowledge now than they used to be, right? Most people have some understanding of how evolution works, and it's just to completely throw that out the window and stuff. It just blows my mind that Ken Hamm, of all people, because let's face it, he's a goofy looking bastard. He's not charismatic. He doesn't have the Kent Hovind charisma going. And somehow people run around believing everything this guy says, and it drives me insane.
He tries a friendly grandpa thing. And by the way, did I say I'm from Australia? Did you notice my accent? I'm from Australia. People like us because of my accent.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he came here specifically here for a reason. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's not.
It's where the money is.
He may be stupid about some things, but he knows how to follow the money.
And obviously, and if you notice, a lot of these friends of his and ones that work at these other organizations like CMI and whatnot, there's a lot of Australians there. I think they all get laughed out of country and they got to come over here.
Yeah. Why would you want to build anything in a little 2-horse town, in Kentucky? Why would you? That's where I want to put a theme park. Why would you do that? What would be? Because the people behind this thing aren't so stupid that they didn't plan on where they were going to put it. It wasn't just this popped into their head and they were like, "Hey, Kentucky, let's build this big fake boat." It wasn't like that. There's a whole thing here, and it's like, damn.
Well, and as far as getting repeat customers and stuff, I joke about it's a giant ball of string, right? It's like how many times can you go see it? It's like, okay, you saw it,
Like, I'll be down there for the protest, but I completely changed my mind about wanting to go in it. Like, I have no desire to go in it. And not just because I'm against it. Like, I already know what's in there. I already know what I'm going to see. And
I would get bounced.
just from watching I turned on that AIG video you sent me, and I was sitting here yelling at the fucking TV. I was like, this fucking dumb bitch needs to shut up.
There's no way.
It's like Netflix actually had this creationist thing on. I can't remember what it was on Noah's Ark. I think it was. It was in like the first minute. He was like, okay, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I had like a list of things to debunk in like the first few minutes of this thing.
What? Hold on, I can show you the screenshot of what I sent Dave about it. You can see it because I think you'll find that we agree. Where's it at? Window, Discord, share. All right.
While you're looking for that, I came across this nice little statistic that shows God created human in present form. Belief in the U.S. has gone down to 38%, and back from prior in the 40s, 40% range. And humans evolved with God as guidance, so it's also around 38%. So it's going down, though the God's guidance thing went up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Robin says she would get mad too. Yeah, and the alternative is to get like all schnookered before you go in there, and that's not going to help.
No.
That's how you get kicked out.
Especially if I have to
see
Hamm walking around. That's going to be all good.
Take Mike with me with. Could you see me and Speed on shrooms at the Ark Encounter? We'd get bounced in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Aren't they on the lookout for atheists going in through there?
Yeah, they'll kick you out.
Yeah.
If they know you're an atheist, especially if they see you taking pictures and stuff, they know you're doing it to make fun of them, they'll kick you out.
And if you want to see what it looks like, speaking of, Erica from Gutsy Gibbon has gone there, and she has some video of it.
Yeah.
Seth and the crew, I think maybe Delahunty and Aaron, or one of those, a bunch of them got together. There's different videos. So if you want to see what it looks like, there are videos, and you can sit at home and laugh and not get kicked out. They actually have fake dinosaurs in cages.
Just don't put it on YouTube unless you want a copyright strike.
Yeah, I've seen images of it.
And he's got a triceratops on a treadmill that runs the poop bucket conveyors to get all the waste out. So yabba dabba do. And if you think they don't take it serious, I was watching a CMI video, Creation Ministries International, something like that. And the guy actually said in one of the recent videos, turns out the Flintstones wasn't that far off.
Yeah.
So yes, they think, throw a saddle on a dinosaur, literally.
Literally, they have that.
We're not not making this up. This is an actual quote from the guy. Turns out the Flintstones that's what they're pushing on kids. I mean, come on. We're in the 21st century. I mean, like you say, people got phones. I mean, use them. Okay. If you're watching this and you just don't know who to believe or something, look it up. I mean, and kind of just weigh why every scientist in the world says Ken Hamm is wrong. Okay. Maybe there's a reason that, and the only ones that agree with him are on his staff.
Yeah. Who have signed a statement of faith.
And
signed a statement of faith. That's right.
Most of those aren't even biologists.
No.
And even an accomplished one, like he likes to tout Nathaniel Jeanson. Nathaniel Jeanson was raised, homeschooled on Ken Ham stuff. He said himself he went to school just to get the degree, and he memorized the stuff to pass the tests. But then he went home and read the Bible to get the real answers.
Oh yeah, the real answers.
So
that's
his
definitely interested in those.
Yeah, that's his pride and joy is Nathaniel Jeanson. And if you watch Donnie Deals, who does he mention all the time?
Yeah,
Nathaniel Jeanson. I think he even has his book in his background there.
probably. Yeah, he's a douchebag too.
He's the replacing Darwin guy.
Yeah, and it's weird because even though I live where I do in the midst of all this, like, I still find it strange that people believe all this crazy shit. Like, I still find it like odd as hell. It makes me like look at people differently. Like, I'm not sure if I trust their judgment on things, like, not that I think they're bad people or I dislike them or anything like that. It's just sometimes I have to think about where the information's coming from. And,
I'll be honest, back in the day, I would just said, dude, you're freaking stupid. Right.
Yeah.
I was not very understanding in the early days of AOL chat rooms and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But I've come to be a little more mellow in my old age and realize that, people can be fooled and have bad education and, all these things. And so I try to give most people a break. But these ones that are on the top, no, you're lying for money. And
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say so. You're terrible. You lie to children. That's terrible. You say awful things about people you don't like. That's terrible.
Yeah.
And his other new stooge friend, whatever you want to call him, that Vody guy, that preacher. Oh, isn't he special?
Yeah,
He wants women to stay in the house until they get married. And you better listen to your mans and make me a sandwich. Oh yeah. That's the guest preacher he has that comes in there. And the disgusting thing about it is the man is a man of color. All right. And I don't know, I'm not a minority, but it just seems to me that when a minority is a bigot, it just seems to be twice as disgusting to me. I know about bigotry is disgusting, but yeah, if you could be any kind of worse of a bigot, it's somebody who says these people shouldn't be allowed to marry, from somebody that just a few years ago was told you're not allowed to marry who you want to marry.
Yeah.
That takes some cojones, to say something like that,
Takes something.
Yeah, usually when I talk to somebody for the first time, I assume ignorance over or willful deceit or anything like that. Give them the benefit of the doubt at least at first. I think these people at the top have proved themselves over and over that they're just grifting, though.
I was just I had something in my queue. I haven't watched it yet, but one of Vody's videos is called "How They Sissified Jesus." So he's got, he's dropping dog whistles all over the place. And, again, he says,
he must be the one writing their Twitter posts.
Yeah, gay people or anybody he doesn't agree with shouldn't be allowed to be married.
What is he, the communications guy?
No, he's the one that they thought maybe would be president of the SBC, this SBC or something. I got his stuff. I got his stuff here. Give me a second here. I got his stuff here.
An hour long of this is talk about how they sissified Jesus. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you found it?
Yeah.
What's his last name? Vody?
Bacham? Baucham?
Bachman?
Bachman? I don't know. Bacham?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, Vody Bachman.
Bachman.
Oh yeah, he's special. I guess there's something though because he's not actually a citizen of the United States. But yeah, here's the video. Let's see, the sin of Sodom on display in America. Well, here's another one that doesn't even know what the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah was.
You put it up, I'll share it.
Homosexuality and transgender. The world, the flesh, and the devil. You know, you can tell, and like I say,
normal shit.
Yeah, the daughter stays at home until she's married, and she basically gave an interview that said she had aspirations to do this, and this, and but you know, my dad, you know, learned me better that it was, you know, not to go out in the world and all this, just be a good wife and everything. And it's like, you know, who knows what this young woman, you know, young lady could have done, young person could have done. No, you know, now she did get an online degree. At least that's something, but.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. But he's, let's say, yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, man, Ken Hamm.
Get it here.
Yeah, one question.
I can't believe that Ken Hamm found so many like-minded people to join his cult. Like, and again, I live in a place where these people are, so it's so weird to me. But like at the same time, it's like I understand. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Not paying attention.
I'll make that. Can I make it smaller or?
I can make it bigger.
It's a full screen for me.
Is that good?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong screen here. My bad.
No, dude.
I was on the YouTube screen. I clicked on the wrong tab. Yeah, so
okay,
yeah,
do I
here
need
he
to
is.
take this down?
No, I was just gonna hit it real quick.
Yeah.
Bend the knee and confess Caesar is Lord. Neutrality is not an option.
There you go. That's all you need to know. That's the message they're all pushing. There's no neutrality. And what does Martin say? There's no there's it'll come to me, but he's totally against giving in, basically. We're not going to give in to the culture. We're not going to give in to the culture.
So says every extremist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So yeah, but that's his that's his other buddy that he has come in and speak, and he's special. He's not only sexist, but he's a bigot, and he also pushes the nonsense yabba dabba doo stuff too. So a triple header.
Let's see. What's Tim Bob going on about over here? If you think the top grifters are not just as deluded as any other member, you're the deluded one. I think sometimes that's true, but I think I think that Ken Hamm well, I know for a fact that Ken Hamm's been informed that the things he's saying are not true. So
yeah, it's
that
possible
makes it pause.
Yeah, it's possible they drank their own Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I'm going to go let my dogs in. They're barking like crazy. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah. You're good. Do your thing, man. We're just, this ain't, do whatever.
And the whole going into kind things. Something I've usually asked a number of creationists. Okay, would you consider your pond scum becoming a lethal parasite, one kind becoming another? I've gotten a few people say maybe, but obviously you're never pin them down on anything. But we actually do have examples of that exact thing happening.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's
Malaria.
yeah. Sometimes, and the thing of it is too, man, and I've been sitting here kind of fucking around with my Bible the whole time, right? But the thing that really gets me about Ken Ham and AIG is that they know these things aren't true, and they continue to say them. That video that I posted that we're going to look at, there's no doubt in my mind that Georgia Purdom knows that those things she was saying are not true. I can't imagine that she doesn't. But they don't care because they would rather choose what they make believe over what's actually true. And they think if they, and I'm not saying they don't believe, they do believe, but if they make believe hard enough, they may just get to go to heaven and hang out with the Jesus. And it's,
fake it till you make it.
My incredulity is, hey, I put a link in, Tim Bob, if you want to come talk about it.
Oh, speaking about the link, if
you're
you
welcome to come
if you
on.
If you go to the three dots next to your
link,
link,
you don't have to show your face or anything.
Yeah, if you go to the three dots there, you can actually pin that link into the top. Unless you have unless you have the chat pop out.
Oh, I know. I never have the.
That way you don't have to keep posting it over and over and over.
I never have the YouTube thing open because I look at it through StreamYard, pull up the YouTube chat, so I never do that. But you're right, I can, and I did. I pinned it. So
Yahooligan said,
"Come on."
Yahooligan loves my background, so thanks, Yahooligan. I made it just for this occasion.
Oh, I see.
See the comment? I told Joe I made this just for Ken Ham because it's got dinosaurs and rainbows. That seems to be what floats through his head.
Yeah, I thought about putting up my green screen and putting something silly on it, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. There's a huge mess right back there beside my head. It's a bunch of shit stacked on the back of the couch. I think it's blankets, but now I'm gone completely. There I am. Okay.
That's what my background would be. Is all my crap,
and then it goes crazy.
Yeah, it'd be all my crap in the background too.
Okay, next thing, the fun, getting Joe a new computer.
Yeah, I need a new computer. I need a new fucking car first, man. My car is fucked. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that yet. That's a ongoing problem. It broke down on me like last week or week before. Hell, I don't remember. But I was able to like drive it back and forth to the store to do simple things, like which was good enough because, I could make it the furthest to my Coumadin clinic appointments, but now it's fucked. It won't even start. So I guess my fat ass is gonna have to start running, huh?
Let's put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. I used to walk like no less than 10, 15 miles every single day, and that wasn't counting that I had a full-time job running a weed eater too. So I used to walk like crazy. Whenever I show. I've showed some pictures and stuff of whenever I was a tiny guy, but I was also strung out on drugs, so that won't work. We're not going to try that diet again. It went poorly.
You want to hear a little bit of Martin from the video I got?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, where'd it go? There it is.
And we're looking to the future and also recognizing what's happening in regard to those social issues, not just in America, but the whole Western world, looking at the state of the church. And one of the things I recognize is, we've got a lot of great scientists who've answered all arena, and we have a lot of great communicators. And I saw that for the future in this ministry, I really wanted to see some young leadership come in who could be there for the future, who also really could speak to the issues of our day as we see, the battles and where they're heading. Who would have ever thought that, the LGBT would be a headline news item every day, or the transgender issue, or...
Can you make it a little smaller, Joe?
Sure.
We can comment.
Put us back on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a bunch of clips I have. So, but I mean, there he's spelling it out right there.
Yeah, his plan. That's the whole.
There's the plan.
Yeah. Get the kids first, and the rest will follow. Yeah. What an evil piece of fucking shit, for real. Like, I mean,
with all that money, that money.
When you look at it,
let's not help people in need or nothing. No, let's go after LGBTQ folks, because that's what Jesus would do with $150 million.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where it gets like, this quits being funny. Like we talk about the ark and dinosaurs with saddles and all that bullshit and the stupid stuff that he says. But whenever you really look beneath the surface, there's this evil, horrible fucking piece of shit at the foundation of all this. And I mean, this man has all these millions of dollars. He forces these kids to repeat after him in these weird cult-like brain worshiping seminars he does. And now he's shilling everybody on homeschool shit. And he says it right here. We got to get the kids. Fuck these people that don't agree with us, because they're a minority. We'll just talk bad about them. But we got to get the kids on our side. I mean, one of the true most horrible people that I know of is Ken Hamm. And it is just, that's why I kind of been sitting here messing around with the Bible and stuff, because otherwise I just get pissed.
Here's the Martin Isles that's going to be taking over, basically.
Things that will be taught at high schools and universities.
It's cut up. It's all right.
That from the program we were running, and to now start building all of that into an extraordinary infrastructure that Answers in Genesis already have through the work of Ken and others, and to get that kind of worldview, that foundations thinking, right across education platforms, home education, homeschooling, but also resources for those who are in the educational world as well. That's going to be extraordinarily powerful. And
there you go. Educational materials. They want to push this stuff everywhere, including into schools.
Yeah. I didn't even see Pinworm sent this chat earlier, super chat for $2. We should take a day trip and visit the big boat. I'm down. I say we do it on July 6th. That's when the protest will be. So
I'm about 4 hours or so away, but I just don't know if I could I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if I could do it.
For me,
I'd like to maybe do the protest, but I don't know if I could go in that place. I really don't.
For me, it's not a big trip. It's easy to make. Like, that's not the problem. Even like without a car, I can get there. It's just down the road. So, but yeah, I'm down for that. I can't wait to go there. I can't wait. But yeah, go on. You can play some more. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna skip around a little bit.
Oh, okay.
The Ark Creation Museum are just 2 outreaches of Answers in Genesis. We have many, many other outreaches, and conservatively speaking, we would say the research we have done indicates that this ministry directly impacts at least 30 million people a year. That's directly impacting them, and indirectly tens of millions more.
Yeah.
There you go. He's got reach to millions, tens of millions of people.
Yeah. And we're going to tell them all that evolution is fake and that the boats can be filled with every animal on Earth.
Streaming platform, Answers.tv, and we have 6,000 programs on there right now. We just rented a TV studio. We'll be producing a lot more programming as well. We're going to do a lot more programming with Martin to get him on there.
There you go. They've got a TV studio. No more. Now, remember when Ken Ham first said, you can go back and look at their videos. They look like home videos. And the quality has gotten a lot better.
Shows.
And the quality gets a lot better when you got a lot of money because, television cameras, big mixing equipment, on and on and on. That's a lot of money. I mean, you just can't throw together, people can do a good job, like us with our little cameras and our green screens, and we're doing our little thing. But high quality stuff, it's a lot of money just to buy cameras without even all the other stuff. That's a lot of money.
I need to. I'm actually, and this is something I haven't talked much about with everybody. A few people may know, but I'm actually going to be making a full length documentary about a particular subject, and I'm going to have to buy nicer cameras just to make that worth actually sitting through and watching. But I'll get more into that later. But I'm waiting to upgrade some equipment myself, and I'm gonna make something
sense
cool.
of, it's not all them, it's his power, but you think they've got the wherewithal to take things to a new level?
Oh, definitely. And working in a school environment myself, I think it's really important to have this kind of stuff pushed into an educational factor.
This is a caller. Yes, he wants this stuff pushed into school.
Yeah, the fact that he has to use the word push should tell you something. Like
Mage caught it too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
21st century. This stuff is awesome.
And people get a little depressed when I say this, but it has to be said because it's true. The federal government at present is in the process of pursuing law reforms, which will make it pretty impossible for Christian schools to remain convictionally Christian in practice and teaching.
Oh, fuck you.
That's bullshit.
You know what that means, right?
Oh, poor me is what it means.
If you're not a bigot, you're not a good Christian.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Isn't that a wonderful message? Just like Jesus, right? Just like Jesus.
Stake out hand until he slips up. Yeah. Let me catch Ham slipping.
I mean, come on now. Even if Jesus, let's say Jesus existed, let's take some of these things for granted, all right?
Yeah.
And let's give him the benefit of the doubt that he believed in a lot of God stuff and everything, which a lot of people did in the first century. But if you take in any of the parts about helping the poor and the needy and loving your neighbor and give a man the shirt off your back, ask for nothing in return.
What's all that woke shit you're talking about?
Yeah, all the things about I will say I did not know you, for you did not visit me in the hospital or in prison. All these things and everything and stuff.
Some of these evangelicals, I kind of wonder if they can even be called Christians. And I mean, if you figure what the basic, there goes my dog. Basic definition of
it's your turn.
Somebody's following, who follows Jesus Christ, right? So they're not following Jesus Christ, though. They're turning their back on what the actual teachings, what they said. What he said when he actually quote the Bible and what he says. So how can they really technically be called Christian?
If you're going to take the super great guy part seriously, then I obviously Jesus might be like a lot of people and have opinions, and he might have a religious opinions. But I mean, I would use the example of Mr. Rogers. Okay. Mr. Rogers was an ordained minister, and I'm sure he had certain beliefs about certain issues, but he would never say anything about his neighbor. It didn't matter what color they are, what sex, what gender, or anything else. You know, how dare I? You know what I mean? And they do the exact opposite. They and I say, and it's not just, again, it's not just it's $150 million budget to do this stuff. And like they said, they're pointing out, they're going after kids. They're getting a TV studio. They're doing all kind of new digital media and everything else.
Yeah,
well, who's that targeting? That's not targeting grandma. It's not.
No.
It's not.
No, they know what they're doing. They found that, you know, target the kids and the parents will follow, and then you've got the kids for life, and they know exactly what the fuck they're doing. Like,
young people, special programs to bring them over to the States.
Oh, here's a new one. Yeah. They want to bring people from other countries here to stay at the Ark Encounter and listen for it, be free labor. Listen for it.
And provide housing for them, and to be able to minister to them here. And they actually even volunteer here while they're here. And
yeah, they volunteer while they're here for free labor.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's gonna have his own little sweatshops going too.
Yeah. What are all these life map, New Testament?
That Bible's gonna warp your mind, Joe.
Yeah. Well, there's I got all the tabs in there. Check this out. And thank you again, Robin. This is so helpful because now I can learn. They always tell me that I've never read the Bible, and there it is, all tabbed out and ready to go. Robin sent me this awesome NIV Bible, hardcover. Yeah,
I got a bunch of Bibles over here.
I've got other Bibles. That's just my most recent one. It's my only NIV Bible. I didn't have one of those.
Yeah, I've got like a dozen Bibles sitting over here on my bookshelf next to me, and I usually just go BibleGate.
Well, I keep my books are always real close. There's Dave Warnock's book, also sent to me by Robin. There's where is that one book? Here it is. A fan sent me this. Dan Dorson sent me this, Addicted to BS. It's an awesome book. It's got shit all over. It's not shit. It's something my kids spilled something.
Well, I got a gift card from this great channel that maybe you could mention. And so I went shopping. I got some astrology cards.
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Badass. You and Robin need to do that.
I already mentioned it to her. I haven't even opened them yet. And last time I did the stream, I was like, you know what? I was missing something. So I got one. I got the 8-ball.
Yeah.
Got the magic 8-ball. So we're gonna, do spirit things with this 8-ball thing.
I don't know. I kind of like the sarcastic 9-ball myself.
Yeah.
And just because I couldn't resist, for some reason the Smurfs are demons, right? So you see it. There we go. So I got a Smurf, and he's sitting with the little planet there because this is sustainability Smurf. So I figured this would tick him off twice.
Yeah. Quit smurfing up the atmosphere.
So I wanted you to know I used my prize to get some props for an upcoming video. So
well, that's awesome.
And I did mention it to Robin. So we'll work something out here one of these days. And, we'll do that.
I imagine everybody here.
You're roboting.
Roboting.
But
try again, Joe. You roboted.
Okay, sorry. I think that everybody here pretty much knows what's up, but we do trivia on Wednesday nights at 9, and everybody's welcome. It's not about religion. It's just fun. And Azo has been giving away gift cards. We do a drawing for $25. If nobody wins, it carries over. And in the second drawing, Dave won. And,
I won.
Got a $50 gift card. So there is proof that we're giving away gift cards. But it's for anybody that participates. And so come join us for that. It's a lot of fun. I usually drop in and try to troll Azo for a little bit. But holy shit, we got a trucker here.
Hey.
What's up, Al?
Oh, you know, the usual.
Hello, Al.
I had to get rid of the other window. Hey, how's it going?
Turn yourself up a little bit if you can.
Oh, let me see. I was acting weird before. Let's see. Sometimes this.
There you go.
And then this. Is it better now?
It was for like one syllable.
Okay. Fuck. Okay.
I can just barely hear you. You come. It did it again. It came through for a second and then went off.
Testing. I know. Because when I do this, it's good, right?
There. That's
yep,
it.
It's good.
Okay, I'll do it like this then, and I won't stay for long. Because I was just on Slim's. They were playing a game, and I actually got my rig parked. I got my rig parked, and then I forgot this was at the same time, and then I came off and I was like, oh, good, they're still doing it. But
we kind of
missed the ham grilling, I bet.
Yeah, we've I mean, actually we've talked about Ken Hamm right up until right now, pretty much.
I did miss it.
We talked about all the various gifts. Huh?
Is Ken a spiral ham?
A spiral ham? Yeah.
A spiral ham?
I don't know. I wish somebody would cut him open and find out.
He's from Australia. He should have stopped in Hawaii to get covered in pineapple and cherries.
No, I bet he did, fucking bastard. I hate
Vegemite.
I'm going to have to listen to this one again tomorrow while I'm driving.
Yeah. Yeah, Dave's talking a lot of facts, and I'm sitting here saying, fuck Ken Hamm. That's pretty much what it is.
Well, Dave's laying out all the real information about Ken and his boat.
Well,
here's the thing.
I never specifically.
I wasn't really raised religious or anything. I mean, I went to church and stuff, but I never really thought, people took any of that stuff literally or whatever. And it was a part-time Christian cable channel had one of Ken Hamm's videos on. So that's how, recent it is. We're talking about, the 80s or something until it kind of, holy moly, these people are, putting dinosaurs on the ark, right? So
holy fuck, is this for real? Yeah.
I was, I understood people had beliefs and everything, but I live in I guess a kind of a blue area here. So it was always, kind of moderate, Yeah, people went to church, but science was all good too, And I was blown away when I came across. And then with him being close by and Hawaiian Shirt Goofball and Ray Comfort and all the other ones are kind of around Ken Hamm is really close by, so he kind of became my.
Go visit anytime you want if you want to go see what it was like.
I got there's family members on my wife's side that went and were posting about it all over Facebook, and she had to keep me quiet, or I would have just ruined everybody's day.
Ken Hamm is a step, just a small kiddie step above fucking flat earthers. Like, that's where Ken Hamm's claims lie to me.
Well, he's more dangerous because people take him serious. Like,
for sure,
like he's got government funding and he's being taken seriously. Like,
they're lobbying the government over their homeschooling stuff now.
Yeah, Christian relies on quote mining and outright lies.
Yeah. If you've noticed, for those of you that see me debate Kyle Adams, as soon as he started quoting the Australia science, whatever the fuck it was, as soon as he started quoting something, I said, I don't think that's what he said. Because every time a creationist gives you a quote, it's some mind quote from some stupid thing that proves they're wrong. Usually,
that wasn't even a quote. That museum thing. I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't even a real quote. He just made it the fuck up and said they said it.
He's trying to catch you in it, right? He's like, well, if you don't believe in this, then like your whole fucking thing's falling apart. It's like, when did Joe ever fucking bring that up? He never fucking Joe never brought that as his fucking evidence. You fucking pulled it out of your ass and then
you pulled it out of your ass, and if I don't prove it's
and
true,
you think
then
because they got science in their name, all of a sudden Joe's married to them. Like, for fuck's sake.
I think it's funny how whenever, like, talking to creationists, I'm expected to understand philosophy, cosmology, geology, paleontology, biology. I'm expected to understand all of these fully enough to sit and have an argument, while they cherry pick specific gotcha facts out of the information and try to trick you into saying that you're wrong or something. I guess I don't even know what the goal is with that shit, because like, even if you told me that every scientist had confirmed Noah's Ark, like, I still would, I would have a problem with that, because it doesn't match the world we see around us. I mean, it's not, while we can rely on scientists to say some things and stuff, it's not necessarily, like, open your fucking eyes and look around. You can see that that's not the truth. It's
absolutely. And I don't know. I'm not saying Kyle said this, but I have a lot of creationists that argue in these different anti-science spheres will say things like, well, like all these, they'll list off like 8 or 9 prominent scientists from like the 15, 16, and 1700s. They were all like God-fearing Christians. It's like, yeah, whether they believed in God or not, they knew they'd be fucking shot or hung if they didn't toe the church line. Like, that's not really a good fucking evidence in your favor.
Yeah.
That people at a time when you couldn't be anything else, went to church and did what they were supposed to fucking do. That doesn't mean they believed it. And even if they did believe it doesn't mean their science was no fucking good either.
For database. And T-Rock's thing is at the end he tried to say, well, these salt flats over in Africa, they found some kind of minerals down under these salt flats, and that didn't match up to what radiometric dating would show or some shit. And I'm like, okay, showing that there's an anomaly in something that works. First of all, you're admitting that it works and this is an anomaly. And second of all, though, like, even if you found one instance where this doesn't apply or whatever, that's what the word anomaly means. Like, it's not the normal. Like, I don't know. They get into these things, though. They try to cherry pick specific things, and it's
I have no idea what that example is off the top of my head, but I do know off the top of my head that a local geological structure that is like somehow inverted or something's been brought in from somewhere else, like, that's evidence that something different than everywhere else happened, not evidence that everything else we've witnessed and taken stock of is wrong. It means that what happened there is different somehow. And I don't understand why that's such a hard fucking concept for them to understand. There was another guy doing that on
Michael Peck, any of you? I don't know how much.
What's the guy that what's the guy, Donnie? That fucking Standing for Truth Donnie guy?
Donnie Deals.
Yeah, I call him
Donnie Deals.
Yeah, I call him Sitting for Lies.
Yeah, I call him you're out of your fucking element, Donnie.
Yeah. You're out of your fucking element, Donnie.
You see, he's sitting at a desk and he's lying, so he's sitting for lies.
He's sitting in. Fuck. Anyway, that guy had a guy on who's like, he was doing this whole fucking presentation about how he found some dinosaur remnants up in Alaska that were not fully permineralized. And it's like, well, there you go. I found something that's a little bit different in one place. So therefore, all the fucking dinosaurs are 10 years old. Let's go home. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't mean. That does not mean what you think it means.
Yeah. I found
the
one
guy did like
unexplained thing, and since it's unexplained, it
an
means that everything's
hour-long fucking
unexplained.
presentation saying we found something a little different here.
Hey,
Yeah.
And
hey,
Pioli
Joe.
just came on and said, first of all, it is partially permineralized and it's a little different. So
Yeah, they always find that. Yeah, boot
it's fucking
or
bullshit.
whatever.
The cowboy boot with the fossilized foot, so to speak.
That's just like what that fucking Georgia twit bitch said in the fucking video on what's it called, AIG. She sat there and said, what the hell was it? She said something that we found one thing, and therefore, that she starts out the whole thing and she says, well, these things are close apart, not far apart, and then just builds off that. And it's like, okay, where'd you come up with that? You just made all that the fuck up. That's what they do. They make it up. And Speed Roman said they don't want the truth. They want to believe their book of fables, man. Yeah, that's it. They could care less what the truth is. I mean, Ken Ham has been informed how evolution works. This has been told to him enough times that he can't claim ignorance, right? He knows the truth, but they don't give a shit because they have, my book says a thing. And
he's got a game he plays. He accepts all the mechanisms of evolution, but then he says, but that's not evolution.
Yeah, right.
So he'll say, well, of course, predator prey happens. Of course, species, and they have to agree with speciation, which is macro evolution after the flood, because, he's got 1,500 animals on his boat. Well, he's got to get to 8 million somehow. So that's, that's the one good gotcha I think Bill Nye pointed out to him in the debate. Species should be popping up in our yards at that rate. Yeah,
you would see 6 new species every day. The thing with that is like they want to admit to evolution working in some cases, but the whole problem is this macro evolution. There's no such fucking thing. First of all, that's shit that
yes and no.
They made it up. They made it a thing. It wasn't. No,
they didn't make it up. It does exist, but it's not. But the distinction is not really useful.
Right.
Anymore.
The label macroevolution isn't there. It's just evolution. And whenever you admit to evolution occurring on that small little scale that they like, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you add deep time, which is the pillar of evolution again, as soon as you add deep time to that, you end up with small changes over time. Way to go! That
you can't get
in speciation,
and you can't get a limit from them because
you can't.
Somebody pressed Hovind on that. I wash my mouth out with soap now.
Yeah,
he couldn't give what the limit is. When does the little changes stop? They can't tell you when they stop.
But I mean, even on the scale that they talk about. Like, even if you take 6,000 years and you look at certain species of animals that don't take that long to evolve, like fruit flies and bacteria and things like that, I mean, you still end up with speciation, which totally fucks their whole argument, and they don't even realize it, and they don't listen. Like, a 5th grade science book destroys their argument completely.
Yeah,
yet this is still a thing. Sorry, I'm going on.
The first use of macroevolution actually came from a botanist, Robert Greenlee, and he put it in the Journal of Botanical Gazette in 1909.
Mage, I have to say, you're the resource guy. You come up with the sources and stuff for things that I don't even think of, and you're good at it. So
where the fuck do you find that shit?
Oh, that was on Wikipedia.
Dude, he messages me and posts stuff all the time, and it's always sourced stuff. It's always like I found this here and this here disproves it. I'm like, damn, dude, you like did all the work for me.
The student of Potholer 54.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But
how to source check.
Yeah. But yeah.
If you don't watch Potholer 54, you should.
Yeah,
Mage is a fact-checking ninja.
All right. I got to check that one out.
Yeah, Potholer is a science writer, so he gives you the straight stuff. And yeah, it famously, almost everything that's circulating around, Potholer will find it back to somebody's blog somewhere. And it's being repeated by Congress people and everything else. Yeah, so
they know where all the shit's coming from.
Yeah, those little links and tabs at the bottom, keep clicking on those until you get back to where the stuff came from.
He just follows it.
You know, politics is the only place where shit runs uphill.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Al. Well said. Well said.
And I'm assuming you guys have some sort of a special thing where like you gotta buy the drinks if you mention Hawaiian Shirt Man.
Oh, yeah.
I try not to
mention. Talking about washing his mouth out or something.
I try not to use his name as little as possible. It's kind of
I try not to. I've written terrible songs about all these terrible people, and I'm like, how have I given any of these people my time? But
it's a little. It's an inside joke with me and Big Bad Mama that whenever they're talking, because obviously Mama and AJ and different ones cover him a lot. And so I'm always joking. Now I feel like I got to take a shower.
Yeah. In muriatic acid, because how else do you get come off you?
Yeah. The wire brush.
You a fucking acid bath. Not just a wire brush. Like, you need to put that on an angle grinder. Like,
he just gives me. I mean, these other ones are idiots, but I mean, he is a creep. And when he said after that little boy drowned there, well, other than that, the family had a great time. So come on down to Dino Land. I was you got no soul, no heart, no insides, just black nasty. That's all that's inside of him. That's all that's inside of him.
Yeah, exactly. He is just the world's biggest piece of shit. Like it is absolutely understandable that a terrible accident would happen. No one would. No,
and that's all you say, though. That's all you say. You don't turn it into a freaking commercial.
It's a fucking marketing opportunity. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't think he even realizes that if he just said we had a terrible tragedy here, our hearts go out to everyone involved, and shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he goes on and on,
especially if you're not going to fucking do something. Like, if you're not going to do something, shut up.
Oh, fuck. Well, apparently I heard they had some sort of like a bench or something they dedicated to the family.
There's a gazebo. There's a gazebo built on the dock. The family paid for.
They paid
the
for
most
that,
powerful government in the world can't stop people from going into schools and shooting your children because they won't do anything about it because they don't care. They don't care.
Well, no,
that's less voters.
The people in charge care about getting their asses voted back in again in less than 4 years from now, and that's what
they care about that.
There's all sorts of very reasonable positions that you can have somewhere between an absolute fucking free for all and not letting anybody have firearms for any purpose ever. There is a reasonable stance.
Do anything.
Like even the slightest fucking thing.
Yeah, do something.
And we've done nothing. We're all out of ideas.
Here's the thing.
The regulations we have here do not stop criminals.
No.
But when you don't do anything to vet if you can't even just register, like the idea that you register firearms the same way you do an automobile.
Yeah.
If you can't even do that, and that's just too fucking far.
They don't. Yeah.
Like you get a free. Like I'm pretty. I don't know if they were joking or not, but I know I heard someone say that like if you showed up to a certain Texas football game, that you got a free handgun if you were one of the first 100 people in the door.
Yeah, that actually happened.
I totally fucking believe that.
Yeah.
Beer and handguns. That sounds like a good combination.
So let me kind of state my position as far as all that goes. Like, we have a government that doesn't want to govern. They have no desire to do anything, to fix anything. At least at least one side of them's that way, and the other side is too weak to stand up and take control of it. They lose their shit every time they do. But all that aside, all of these culture war issues that have been brought forward and everything, there's a reason for this madness, because they knew we don't have any kind of actual thing to run on. So what we have to do is piss everybody off and pit them against each other. And then all we have to do is take shots at the other side. We don't actually have to come up with any method to make the country better, any mechanism to fix shit. We just have to sit and hate the other side because they like these things. And if we can dunk on them every now and then we're good and we can get reelected. It's all about staying in power. It has nothing to do with anybody wanting to govern or do anything, actually. And
make your base afraid of the other side. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, that's what it is. Fear mongering. Let's make these people scared of all these things that are, not bigots, I guess. And let's be bigots and make more bigots.
Let's bring it right back around to Ken Hamm hanging out with politicians.
Yeah.
And Ken Hamm hangs out with people with a lot of money. And guess who loves to hang out with people in between? Yeah.
Yeah. They, I don't know. I mean, I hope that,
well, Martin said it himself, and I say in that video clip I showed you, he said it himself. Ken Hamm has set up all this reach over decades now, and he's just going to step right in.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do any of the work. It's all laid out in front of him, and he's getting handed a big budget and one of the top titles at AIG.
Yeah. That's your which position is that guy? Is that the speaker, or who is that?
Martin Iles is kind of what he's grooming for his replacement when he retires.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay.
His mini-me CEO.
But don't you guys have like a? But you guys also have a. Sorry, I'm confused. That's in their corporate governance, but there's also a related politician too, right?
Oh, are you talking about Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House?
That's it. Mike Johnson, wasn't he? He was like on their legal counsel or something.
Yeah, he was Ken Hamm's lawyer whenever they were fighting that first $18 million lawsuit that they did end up winning.
Okay.
But eventually,
Mike Johnson worked for one of those law firms that takes up all the Christian things the same way Martin Iles did in Australia.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
a whole bunch of dirty assholes playing dirty asshole games.
They're making a lot of money over who won't bake who a cake.
Yeah, exactly. And,
I wish this wasn't true, but like these, like you think these are like satire type things, but they're not.
No,
they're fucking like straight up reality, and it's unfucking believable.
They want these things. All of the things that go, like, you have, culture, for example, there's this attack on the LGBTQ community, right? And just to, not get too deep into this.
And non-believers. Don't leave all us.
No. This is
most of the world. Yeah, most of the world they don't like. They point at the queer community and whatnot, but no, they hate everybody. They hate everybody.
One of the people they've made into a type of boogeyman is the LGBTQ community. And this Sunday, Jenny Morgan and Purple Rhymes with Orange are going to come on, and we're going to talk about that stuff. But just for this conversation, I'm going to say this. They've made it. They've made it a point to make a boogeyman out of these people, because when they don't have things to run on, then they can say, oh, look, LGBTQ people are trying to get rights to do this and have control over their own bodies. Women are trying to have control over their own bodies and be able to have abortions. And they just fight against that imaginary boogeyman that they've made up, because they have no real position. They have.
What about the children?
Yeah.
What about the children?
Yeah.
They care about the kids so
The
much.
kids are fine.
Yeah.
The kids are resilient. Okay, kids
Meanwhile,
go through a
Donald
lot
Trump
of
wants
things.
to give people the death penalty for selling drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Really care
he's
about
such
people.
an idiot.
Human lives are so important to him.
Trump is beyond politics. He's just messed up in the head. He just
Well, yeah.
magnets don't work if they get wet. And it's like, just shut up. Just
Isn't Mike Johnson on his
just
way
shut
out
up.
as speaker already? I asked because he was one of the reasons the article. Yeah, so Mike Johnson is, and I know you sent it to me there, Justin. But yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed a motion to have him removed, but that's not going to happen. That's going to blow up in her face, is what that's going to do. That's going to be real bad for her, because now she has no friends. Now
she's sending a message to him that our little group isn't very happy with you.
Yeah, our MAGA group didn't want they've gotten pissed every time the government stayed open. Every time they pass something to keep the government open, these people get mad because we didn't get to hold it hostage and get all the things we wanted.
And he dared talk to a Democrat.
Yeah, to keep
how
the government
dare they?
running. Yeah,
how dare they keep the government running?
Like they're there to make sure the country runs and stuff or something. Like, what's he doing, dumbass?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was something that Marjorie Taylor Greene voted against, and then after it passed, he promoted it because actually it was beneficial to her area.
She took credit for something that she voted against, but she was there at the ribbon cutting ceremony. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah,
I don't remember what it was, but
yeah, I know it. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, she voted against it, but she was there for the so-called ribbon cutting or whatever. Look how great I am. Look what you're getting. Yeah, never mind. I voted against it. Yeah, I think her record is she hasn't done anything. She votes no on everything, but I don't think she's passed anything with her name on it or anything. I don't think she has a record other than just saying no to everything that a Democrat brings up or whatever. Being a goofball. Jewish space lasers.
Jewish fucking space lasers. Is that where we're at? I had to send off for cigarettes.
That's that's where we're at. I mean,
what's this? Michael must have got worked up here. We have an entire party that is disinterested in compromise, disinterested in governing. That's been one of the problems with the Republican Party most of our life. Yeah, that's true.
You see two more senators, congressmen, whatever, Republicans are saying we've had enough.
Yeah,
they're done.
Yeah,
they're tired of the circus. And like I said, even in people who disagree in politics, there was always a little bit of honor there. You know what I mean? To honor the tradition, and that's why they all dress nice, and they go through all the formalities, and these people are just spitting on the Constitution. You got Trump drooling on the Constitution or on the flag. And it's just
that was weird.
Yeah, there's nothing about country or duty or none of those. Just a little shred, I mean, even Nixon had a little shred of integrity when things went bad. He did the honorable thing. He said, "I'm out of here." Right? I'm out of here.
Well, we couldn't even get Trump to leave when we voted him out. Shit.
Right? Yeah. No, we're just gonna stay forever now.
As soon as he became president, I called that from the very beginning.
I did too.
It doesn't matter if he loses; he's not going to leave. He's not going to just leave.
My mother said, "What do you think?" This was just before she passed away, and I said, "Well, it's going to depend on if he can know how to be king or a president." That's what I told her. Well, he doesn't know how to be president.
I mean, I don't understand how one political party who they want this power and they want this control, why they want to put a man in as president that everybody thinks is a fucking fruitcake. Because even when he goes on Fox News and says this stuff about election laws, they stop him and say, "No, Mr. President, you lost. Yeah. You lost fair and square. You lost." No.
Did you see the Jim Jordan one that just came out from the other day?
No.
Where what's her name? Leslie, I think, stumped him. Where, come on, people don't think there was a voter fraud. He's kind of like, well, yeah, right. What do you mean? Vin Diesel, huh? Michael says I sound like Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I wasn't going to post it.
Well,
I've been hearing a lot of things about my voice lately.
They want to hear you sing.
Missing Mod said I had a radio voice, and somebody on Slim's stream said I had a unique voice, and I think it was somebody's stream anyway.
Thanks for coming for a minute, Al. I appreciate it. But they want to hear you sing. What's the well, don't we have to have a super chat or something for that?
You have to give me some lyrics.
Oh, I'll give you some lyrics. We'll give you something good.
Henry VIII.
Well, it did for Fox 77 million learn that front lesson. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, they didn't learn shit though. They still continue to say stupid stuff every now and then, just a little more carefully. I am glad it got Tucker Carlson fired though.
I'm like most people. When you first start doing this, you can't stand your own voice, and then after a while, I think it kind of grows on you.
I still can't stand my own voice.
If they send a super chat, do they get to pick the song?
Somebody sends you a super chat, I will sing some, but you got to give me some lyrics because I don't know stuff really off top.
I'll get you. If it comes through with the song, I will look up the lyrics and put them on screen for you.
Well, let's see.
And I'll take you off screen so you don't have to be on screen while you're singing. We'll put up the lyrics and take you off. That way everybody can sing along.
I've done karaoke one time, and I did the Beatles 17.
Yeah, you do have the deep radio voice though. You put me in mind of Casey Kasem kind of. Not in the way you talk, but in the
I have been told that I have a deep voice, but when I was on with the overseas crowd, they were telling me about how much they liked my accent. And
there we are.
Oh, you got a super chat? At the time of my that's Green Day?
No, you wish.
No, you can do that one. well, see, I know I personally know.
I hope you had the time of your life.
I know Drunken Sailor, 188th, Had to Be You, Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby, and Hello My Baby. So I know those songs.
You got to give me some words. I don't know that.
I
know Green Day. I know Green Day.
Yeah.
AC/DC. That's like my dudes. I don't know if I'd want to dishonor them.
Let's see if I can get these. If this will show up big enough for you to see. If not, I'll pull it up on.
Let there be lights, sound, guitar. Let there be rock. Sorry.
If you don't know the tune, it makes it harder too.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to see that, are you?
What is it?
You're not going to be able to see that.
Well, I could punch it up here. What is it called?
Well, there's the link in the private
time
chat.
of my life.
Where is it at here?
Here's a good chat.
one. Yeah, I pulled it up. You can put it in the private chat if you want to pull it up. But still, it's not going to do you too much good if you don't know the.
I don't know the.
We're going to get you set up. We're going to get you set up.
I don't know how it goes.
Yeah.
How about Green Day? I can do I know the Green Day song.
No, it's got to be this one.
How does it go?
We'll get you the song here.
I need a sample.
Yeah.
There's a sample on the link I gave you. If you go
hold on.
You go
On the bottom here?
Yeah, there should be a sample in there. Is there a sample there? Should be a sample somewhere.
Oh.
No, there's no sample there. Shoot.
So now I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth. Oh, yeah. Yes, I swear it's the truth. And I owe it all to you. 'Cause I've had the time of my life. And I've been waiting for so long. Yeah, okay. Now it's coming to me.
I'll do the girl.
I finally found someone to stand by me. We saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy. I finally found someone to stand by me. All right. I've been waiting for so long. Now I finally found someone to stand by me. How's that?
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you're at. From Ember doing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. From the members chat there.
Yeah.
Remember the thing?
The what thing now?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yeah, Ember had a member thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't see it at first.
I like to sing. I just usually do it in private.
Yeah, me too.
I was singing some Godsmack earlier, but I think that would probably get you demonetized.
Yeah, that might get you.
Yeah, look, Justin said thanks. Best $5 ever spent, Dave. It was an amazing sport. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome,
Dave.
That was fun.
Totally.
I'm a good sport. I am.
And go away.
I'm not going to eat those scorpions, though. Sorry, Slim.
Member for a month. Thanks, Ember. I think Ember and Ember's channel and Godless Granny are the only ones I'm members of right now, I think.
And speaking of Godless Granny, I got something to tell you, too. I wanted to share something real quick.
Yeah.
I was talking about SJ just won't get me on her channel, right?
Yeah.
I was like, other people get emails and invites, even Granny, and Granny kind of gave her a hard time, right?
Yeah.
And I felt slighted. I did.
You got it.
And so the other day, SJ put the link out.
Yeah. I got you.
See me and say hi and appreciate the shout out. And as far as the hell thing, my comment would be I have a problem reconciling a infinite punishment for finite crimes. So that's always going to be a problem.
I've heard that, I've heard that. Where I first heard that, I think, was Tracy Harris and Matt Dillahunty on the Atheist Experience. And so then I was very curious about how does the church answer that? So I looked it up, and some people believe that the crimes themselves aren't finite. When you commit them against other humans, it's like a ripple effect through time. And so it's passed down. If I'm sinning and my kids witness the sin, there's, they're going to witness that passed down to generations. So that's sort of one way they've addressed it, but it's just throwing that out there.
Especially
throwing that out
Christianity. There. So I got on.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty cool. A priest came on. I don't remember his name. Father Jonathan, I think. He was all right. And what's the other guy's name? He's got a channel anyway. He came on. And then Blaster Master came on, who's a non-believer.
Yeah.
And then so we had a nice friendly little conversation and everything. And I told SJ, I said, I felt slighted, SJ. You haven't had me on. So I got a little razzing in there, friendly, but
we I haven't had any interaction with her ever. I've never even so much as left a comment on one of her videos.
I don't think I agree with anything. Yeah,
no.
I don't agree with hardly anything she says.
Yeah, I've seen people cover some of the things she said before, but I've never interacted with her. I don't think that
she's been on a lot of channels.
I don't think that she'll be sending me an invite. I don't think that I fit.
She said she'd come by. She said she'd come by the desk. I said, all right, well, I'll find a topic for us to talk about. So,
well, yeah,
I'll probably take a little flack for it, but
it was awesome of Godless Granny to have me on though, because I'm trying to build subscribers right now, and we're moving in the right direction. But I got a big boost off just doing that.
When Granny was on with SJ, she said, "Oh, it looks like there's a mixed audience. I see some atheists and stuff." And Granny said, "Well, I see Captive Desk. I know he's here for me." And it's like, "What's up, Granny?"
yeah, she's great. I love talking.
Oh
to her.
She always gives me a shout out. She's great.
It's amazing because she's so precise without getting into much science or anything. You don't have to really understand anything to understand.
She's got a great, she's got a great thing too. You know, she's the granny in her rocking chair. You know, she's got that's a great hook that she's got. Yeah.
You're on your way to being big on this. I think you'll make it.
Of course I want the channel to grow and be a big thing. Of course I do. I put a lot of work into this. But like at the same time, it's like I appreciate the small size of things because I'm able to interact with all my members and people that sub and stuff. I can really get in there and talk to people. And the more people that grows to, the harder that gets to be. So I think that there'll be a point, that I'm going to say, boy, I miss, the days when it was easier to talk to everyone, because that's what I like to do. But we're going to keep doing it either way. I'm not saying it's going away.
Some ideas you can do is always make sure to read some of the stuff in the regular chat. Don't just become exclusive to the members chat. And try and do a thing where even if you can't read all the members chats, do like a makeup chat at things. That way you actually can get an extra video out of just reading the chats if you can't make it.
That's true. That's true.
There's a couple ideas there.
Yeah. As we move forward, I will definitely find ways to remain interactive with everybody that supports the channel. I mean, I will, if nothing else, I will do that because, like the things that I do on Sundays now has evolved to where I can't really open it up for everybody to just come in when they want. But that's what I like to do. I like for people to come visit and talk about things and whatever. That's the fun part. And the Sunday thing has gotten to where I have to have guests, where we can actually let them talk and have a discussion because the subject matter is about them usually. So it's been hard to really let everybody just come and talk on those shows. But I like doing those kind of shows. So that's why I suggested the thing for Mondays where I can post a video that's for members and only members will see the video that I post and they can have a week to work on it. And then we can all come and if anybody who wants to join in on those panels can then join in and talk about this one thing. And that way it still gives everybody a chance to use their voice and do what they want to do. So
Jer says my voice is going to get you demonetized.
Yeah.
Me with my Google.
If we get a copyright claim over you singing that song, it's going to be fun.
Me with my Google foo in a week's time, prep time, huh? For a video.
SJ hasn't invited Ember. Well, she don't know what she's doing then. She should have invited you by now. If she's really trying to have these discussions, I don't know how she missed you.
I talk with Slam RN in the chat on SJ's channel, and
hasn't Mark been on there?
Let's say SJ's had a lot of.
I think
a lot of people on, and she's been on a lot of the other channels. I don't know specifically if I can remember.
Speaking of Mark, I gotta get another debate.
She recently she just had She just had Derek and Steve McRae on at the same time.
Steve McRae.
Steve McRae
What to say
and
about
Derek
him?
and Derek from Myth Vision, and I guess those two are going to do some stuff together.
Yeah, Derek's great. Derek also suffered with addiction for a long, long time and posted a lot of videos about it. And Derek's really
Steve,
cool.
Steve's been busy lately. He's trying to get back into it, I guess. He's had a lot of people on. Leo was on. Matt Oz from Matters. Been a lot of people over there. He's trying to get things rolling again, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
I'm not allowed to talk about Steve. I get scolded for it.
I'm going to talk about Steve because Steve posts some crazy shit on Twitter. Steve isn't who I thought Steve was. Steve's
kind of a shock jock. He always has been.
Yeah, he's and it's like I don't know. He argues things about atheism that are incorrect, and
don't debate him about what atheism means.
No, I have no desire to talk to the man. I talked to him briefly on Twitter because he found somebody, and it was some atheist who had just posted something like he was trying to so there's this line that atheists sometimes use that's I'm not trying to make a claim, I don't believe in the God you're pointing to. And he had posted it though in a way that said like I don't want to make a claim, but I'm atheist and everything comes from natural causes. And he made all kinds of claims in the quote is what I'm saying. And it's like, it was obvious that it was somebody who was trying to repeat something and just got it a little bit wrong. But Steve jumped all over him and started telling him that like atheism is the positive belief that there's no God, and getting into the definition of atheism and stuff. And it's
don't debate what atheism means with Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no desire to.
Don't do it. That's his thing.
I know, but
I get his paper comes in my email every once in a while because I'm on the Google Docs, whatever it's called.
Yeah, well,
and I get his paper and that Joe Marino everybody keeps talking about with the Shroud of Turin. I get his garbage all the time.
And that's really what I was getting at, Robin, is he posts some weird bigot stuff too, and I really don't care for it. Don't debate Oz about what atheism is either. Yeah, Oz is another one of those that
you kind of, well, like I said, the thing is, if you're going to go on other people's channels, okay,
yeah,
kind of have a clue about who you're going on.
Oh yeah,
with,
yeah, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
Because, and I'm not saying anything about anybody here. I'm just saying some people use crass humor. Okay,
yeah,
there might be some yo mama jokes or what, you got to, you know what I mean? You got to know your crowd. Okay. So, if you step into something and somebody says something, don't immediately get bent because they might just be clowning around.
Has anyone seen Azzo around today?
Or if they have, if they're very opinionated on something, be prepared to hear about it. Okay.
Has anybody seen Azzo in any of the chats today or anywhere? Because I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Nope.
I'm not sure.
I think I've been pretty busy today, so I haven't really been.
Yeah,
well,
I was outside.
He has to go do infusions and shit, so sometimes that takes a long time. But I haven't seen him anywhere today, and I messaged him before this started to tell him, hey, come talk to us or whatever, and he usually does, and he didn't. So I'm really surprised by that. But he may be busy, I guess. But yeah, I liked your all show last night, Justin, on Wavelength. That was awesome. You guys talked about what you're doing. Yeah, I said I wanted to be on that panel you were talking about. Yeah, I want to do that. But you guys had a good stream, and I look forward to more from you guys. I'm still sharing all your stuff, trying to get it out there as much as I can. My reach is limited, but I'm trying.
And subscribe at the Captive Desk, because if you get me to 500 subs, I'll sing for $5.
Get Dave to 500 subs, and I'll sing.
We'll both sing. We'll
do a duet.
We'll do a duet. How about that?
Yeah.
You get KA wants, KA needs 1,000 and I need 500, and we're both about the same amount away. So drop those socks and get us there, and we'll do a duet.
Yeah.
We'll do a song we know too. So we just.
He was on Missing Mod stream. That explains it all. I know where he's at. Makes sense now. Never mind.
Missing Mod's all right. Been groovy with me. So
yeah, she's cool.
What's Dave's channel? Dave's channel is Captive Desk.
Oh, I've got you pulled up here to put up on the screen.
Am I subscribed to you?
That's you, right?
Captive Desk. I'm the only Captive Desk, so it should be.
Get Dave to 500 subs, and we'll do a duet, and we'll pick a good song too. We'll pick a good one.
Yeah, I'm already subscribed to you.
We'll practice and everything for it, so it'll be wonderful. I can't sing, so this is a bad idea, but we'll do it.
Everybody can sing. It's just if anybody else wants to hear it or not.
Yeah, everybody can sing. Yeah. I don't know if we've promised them something or threatened them. I'm not sure.
Sometimes if a song hits me, I'll do a few verses to my wife if I'm feeling romantic. That's about the extent of my escapades. Few verses, softly in her ear.
We just aren't convinced. Yeah.
Thanks, Hooligan. Appreciate it.
What is it? Oh, he gave you 2 subs and would be honored to have him come on Wavelength. There you go.
Yeah. I'm easy to remember to get a hold of. All Hail Bigfoot. I say it all the time. And it's also my Gmail. So All Hail Bigfoot at gmail.com. Get a hold of me.
Yeah, what you do is
you in the description of this video, didn't I?
Yeah, if you like the singing, send the super chat and we'll sing. If you don't like the singing, you can send the super chat or we'll sing.
My email is on my channel too. So.
Oh, you send super chats. I'll do a lot of things for money. No one has ever asked. What is it?
I'm not going to do the eating thing like Slim does, though. I can't do that. I can't.
It's hard for me to go
more power to him, though. More power to him. It's fun to watch, and
I think the most fun is Sir Six live streams because he's absolutely the person that he portrays in the videos. Like he is that person, and
whiskey,
on top of it,
you just need whiskey.
I've never sat in on one of his live streams.
Oh my God, they're fun. They're great. He usually
they're usually off. They're usually off time because he's overseas. So
people will send him $100 to take drinks because he's drank so much, or he'll be like, "All right, we went 2 hours. I can't go any longer," and they'll send $100 for him to go another hour, and he does it. And
I like all the classics. Logic, Sir Sick, Prophet Azad, Vice Rhino.
Has Sir Sick ever showed his face? I don't think he has. I know he changed his name up a little bit, like what the Sick means.
Prophet Azad doesn't have his static anymore, and Vice Rhino doesn't have the Rhino anymore, and Apologia is sometimes not a
always.
I don't know. I think Vice Rhino should go back to having the Rhino.
I did like the Rhino. I watched all of them when it was the Rhino. Nothing against him.
You're kind of looking for the Rhino. Yeah.
Nothing against him personally.
No.
We want to know is the Rhino okay? That's all. Is the Rhino okay?
I get comments about my looks on camera sometimes, which is weird, but I don't give a shit. Like I don't care.
I get Steven Seagal because I got my hair pulled back. I guess that's the only reason.
If I cared what I looked like, I would look in the
Getting
in the
long
mirror,
too.
not the camera.
Check it out. I can put it all the way around to the front now.
Oh yeah,
I can wrap
Yeah,
it around my
hair-
neck.
My hair's running from my forehead, so I have this 5-head thing going on now. It's like that's huge. Like
I had my head shaved for about 2
forehead.
decades, and when I grew my hair back out, I had to buy a comb. I didn't own a comb. It'd been so long that I didn't have a comb anymore. So
yeah,
people
that's another one.
are kind of amused that I had to buy a comb.
Oh, I didn't.
And then
know
I
you did
grew
that.
this, and then I grew this. So then I had to get a little beard brush so I can
Yeah.
comb this too.
Well, like a lot of times I shave before these and stuff, but as you can tell, I'm like, I didn't give a shit today. I was just like, I'm gonna go stream. I shaved my beard almost all the way off anyway, so it's not like there's much there now. But
usually I try to shave before I go on camera. I don't know.
I look like a child without a beard. Let me see if I can find those pictures.
I don't have a good beard, so that's why I grew this. I don't have it on the sides.
I don't have a beard, but I do tend to get the 5 o'clock shadow after noon.
Here we go. Let's see if I can do this right. Let's see if it shows up the right way. Trying to do anything with while streaming.
Jur says I could be Titan's son.
I always thought it looked a bit like Thunderfoot.
I like watching Thunder.
He's good too. He gets obsessed with Elon Musk an awful lot though, which is kind of weird. All right, here we go. Here's me with no facial hair or hair of any kind for that matter. I've still got eyebrows, I guess, but is it awful that the only thing I have is mugshots?
Have you seen this man?
There's me unhappy. Yeah, that was a bad night.
You really should be smiling in these smoke shots.
I think I do eventually. Nope, they're all frowns. They're all frowns. Hey, there's a crazy one right there. But that's what drugs will do for you.
I just had a thing one day and I shaved my head, and then it was good 2 decades I think I had my head shaved, and then I need something different, so I grew my hair back out. And,
yeah. Well,
plus I was thinking, I might as well enjoy it for a little while because it might not last. So while I still got hair, I figured I'd enjoy it for a little while.
Yeah, I don't.
Starting to get gray. So
I wish I was just bald. I don't. I hate it. I hate I hate this beard too, honestly. But my girlfriend cries when I shave it. So
I never had hair on my face until 2 years ago when I grew this. I always was clean shaved, but I was ill and I hadn't shaved. Every once in a while it catches up. But I was ill and I hadn't shaved for a while and I was looking pretty scruffy, and then I just said, and I just kind of shaved, and it was here too, but then I just shaved that off. So. And I just grew it out for something new. So
I wish I could redirect. I'd send you all to minis. I wish I could redirect everyone, but I can't. I guess you have to have 1,000 subs to do that.
You have to have it on, and they have to have it on.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can do it under 1,000 subs.
Yeah, just put the link out there when you're ready to close up.
Yeah. Well, we're going to end here in just a second, and that's where I'm going to go. Is I'm going to go watch.
We were just we were just wondering, Missing Mod,
what's the link?
Where is Azho?
Just take the link and put it in the chat. Wherever you're going.
I put it in the yeah. That's what I did.
So let's wrap up Ken Hamm.
We were looking for Azho.
Ken Hamm is a bad dude, and the new dude that he's got coming in to replace his sorry old dude self is, I think, worse, because he's a slimy lawyer, and I'm not talking any lawyers out there. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking, this guy is a slimy lawyer, and he's bigoted. He's double trouble. And Ken Hamm is handing him the reins and a huge budget, and he's going to go after kids with a lot of hate speech. Yeah. So it's not just yabba dabba doo, oh, look at the funny creationists. They want to push this stuff on homeschool materials. They want to get their stuff into any kind of schools they can get it into. Ken Hamm has his own school. He just expanded to K through 12. And they're going to have their own TV studio, media company, where they want to put out all their stuff, where they don't really have to abide by anybody's hate speech rules. So stay tuned for a lot of awful things from this awful organization that is way beyond just the funny stuff of, making fun of them with the dinosaurs. It's a lot of ugly, horrible things with a lot of money, and the people behind him keep giving him more. Yeah.
So I'll make a little spill here, and then I'll give my thoughts on Ken Hamm. But thanks to everybody who came and watched and talked with us in the chat and stuff. And special thanks to all my channel members and stuff. You guys are the reason that there even is a show on Mondays now. So thank you guys, and look at the community board to see some changes coming to how we do this show. I'm going to start posting a video every Monday, and then the following Monday, the members can come join the panel to talk about the video, and we'll do it live for everybody, but it'll be members only on the panel. So I may have a special guest or two that drops in with us to do those, but it'll be a members thing. And so thank you guys for even making that possible. And coming up, we got Purple Rhymes with Orange and Jenny Morgan to talk some trans issues, and specifically related to the atheist community. And some people in chat had expressed that they had questions that have not been answered. And so we set that up, and that'll be the place to do it. We're going to talk about a variety of things. This Monday show is kind of, whatever, but we've got that scheduled. That's a Sunday show, actually, but we've got that scheduled for Sunday. And then next Monday, we'll talk about the video that I posted today, which is an AIG video. And I had to stop it and start over. It was pissing me off so bad. It is a provocative piece of media. So watch that and come join us on the panel Monday. And we now have a 99-cent membership option. So please, join and come join us in all the fun stuff we do. Regios, always, you know what, Regios, thanks, man. You do this all the time. Gifted 10 Kentucky Atheist memberships. Thank you so much. That'll grow the crowd we can have on the panels. And but that way I get to interact with you guys, and we can have a little fun talking about the subject that brings us all here. And yeah, seems like you have a membership now. Yeah. That's awesome. But we'll talk about all those things. And as one thing I want to tell you, I finally, I've talked a lot about wanting to have Aaron Raw on. I finally scheduled Aaron Raw for May 19th. He actually wanted to come sooner than that, but I didn't want to push someone out of the way to have him on. But he's cool with May 19th. Plus, that gives me a chance. I want to give away a couple of his books to you guys. I know we did the book giveaway thing before, and Ember actually won one of those books. But I want to do another book giveaway, I guess, if you guys are into that. And I'm trying to get a signed copy for the members, actually. But we'll get to that.
I've got his book.
Yeah, I've got both of his books here.
Yeah, I want to give away the foundational
somewhere here on the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I've got.
Yeah, that's a great book, and I mean, also, even though I'm going to give away a copy or whatever, go check out that book on Audible because he narrates it, and it's great.
The foundational falsehoods of creationism, and we are all apes.
Well, depending on how things go between now and then, we may give away both. So the channel is making a little bit of money, so that's where it's going. I'm going to buy books and stuff and give away to you guys. But that's all I got for everything. On Ken Hamm, though, there's a lot of things I could say about, what Ken Hamm's done and the various awful things he's done to people. But I think I'll just sum it up with saying, fuck Ken Hamm. Ken Hamm's a piece of shit. And I hope that, fuck you, Ken Hamm. You suck. That's it.